Hey crafters, this is Nye here. Today we are going to craft treat bags for Halloween. So as you can see, I have my art glitter glue here that I will be using for all of my gluing. I have my bone folder here to just kind of help me to define my score lines. And I have all of my pieces cut out and I kind of have them all stacked up right here. Okay, so before I really dive into the bags here, I want to show you what they're going to look like. And so when you opened up the file, you saw lots of different pieces that were put together. And those pieces are what you can use to kind of create different styles of bags here. So I created just like this monster, a jack-o'-lantern face, and then this one's kind of like my funny ghost face here. And so what we will be doing is we'll be crafting this spider bag together, only because that one's going to be a little bit more complicated. But what I want you to do is just kind of take away that there's lots of possibilities of what you can do with these bags. And the great thing about them, at least what I really love, is that you can just fold them up and then they'll lay flat. And I think that's just great for storage. I'm really excited about that one. So you can see like they just all lay flat here. And what you could also do is you could take the bags and instead of using the faces, you could just cut them out in pattern cardstock and keep the bag just the way it is with the pattern cardstock. It doesn't need to have any kind of specialty thing added to the bags here. So there's just lots of different options for what you could do with this craft and with this design here. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get started. I'm just going to push these ones out of the way here and hopefully they'll be out of the camera. I'm going to open them back up just a little bit and just push them out of the camera. All right. So as you can see, I've got all of my pieces here. This one is going to be for my spider bag. And I'm going to start with the smaller pieces first, just to kind of make sure that I don't lose them as we're going along here. So I'm going to start with the mouth. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it here between my fingers. You could use your tweezers if you want. I don't think I have mine close to me as always. And so what I'm doing there is I'm just holding it between my fingers. I added my glue and then I'm just going to press it down and keep holding everything here just between my fingers. And so I'm just going to shift it there just a little. If you have any glue that's seeping through, don't worry about it. It's going to dry clear. It's not going to be a big deal. So again, I'm just going to add the glue here to the back. And I'm coming around on this side. And then I'm just going to add it to the back of the mouth here. And so for this black piece here with the mouth, you don't necessarily have to cut that part. You could just keep it because if you're using black cardstock to make the spider like this, the background is going to be black anyway. And so you could just really lay it there. But if you decided to kind of take this face and use it on a different color and not make it a spider, like if you used it against the white and you wanted to show that there was a black part to the mouth, then you could use it there. All right, so there's that part. And now let's do the eyes here. Again, I'm just going to kind of hold these pieces here between my fingers. And then once more, if you've got your tweezers, that would be really helpful. And so I'm just holding it there as I line everything up. I'm going to do the same thing here with this part. And I'm just going to press it down here. Now, the reason why I'm doing the spider here as the demo is because of these legs here. I just thought this would be a little bit different from just like the ordinary bags and just kind of adding something a little bit more to it. But because the setup for this one is going to be a little different, that's why I decided I was going to do this one. Okay, so now we're ready for folding all of the pieces here. Hopefully I'm still within the camera. I always feel like I move out. All right, so as you can see, there are a lot of score lines just to this one little piece here. You can see all of the lines here. These two rectangles parts, one has the score line kind of part way up, like maybe a fourth of the way up, and the other side doesn't. This part that's a fourth of the way up, that's going to be the back. And all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to begin to fold on all of these score lines here, at least the bigger ones first. So I'm just using my fingers to get everything started. I'm just pressing down on those lines here. You can break out your bone folder if you want. So let me do it for this one. Actually, I'll do it for this one. And then just press it down there just to make them nice and sharp. But the score lines here that are on the side, especially the ones that are going to be, that you can see in the middle here of the black, I'm not going to use the bone folder there because I don't want them to be super crisp and sharp there. All right, hold on. I gotta get a better handle on this. All right. And then I'm just gonna fold it here. And then again. And then on this side and again, just right there. And that looks pretty good. Okay. So now we're gonna do the score lines here that are on the longer rectangles. And as you can see, it kind of goes down here and then it branches off and then there's a long one right across here. What we're going to do is the score line doesn't go all the way to the bottom. It only goes up to a little bit where this line is and kind of creates that 90-degree angle. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my hands here to just bend the paper with my hand. And I'm not even going to take that score line all the way down to the bottom here. I'm just going to fold it as much as I can right there. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to get this score line right here on the side. Again, just pressing it a little bit, but not going all the way across because we don't want to do that because that's going to create a line in our bag. And so you can see it a little bit right there, but it's really not. Then I'm going to do the other side, same thing. And then the one that's going straight across, that's perpendicular to the base, again, it's only on the one side, so I'm only going to make sure that I'm really pressing it down on the one side. I'm not going all the way across because I don't want that. And that's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to do the same thing here now on the other side. Again, just creasing it right down the center. And then kind of getting it on the side right here. And then again on this side right here. And just, it's a little hard to see with the black, but it is what it is. And then for this side right here, I'm just pressing it down on this part there. Okay. All right. So now I have all of my score lines. They're all creased. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flip it the other way. And now I'm going to begin to glue everything down on the other side. Okay, so I'm just flipping all of my tabs the other way as well. And now we're ready to start gluing. And so once you see that, once you do that, you can already start to begin to see the shape right here. Okay, so you can see how it pops up right away. All right, now the thing about this spider one is it's a little different. And that's because I decided to give it some legs kind of hanging off here on the side. And when you're ready to glue the bag together, if you're just making a regular one, you're just going to glue all of these pieces right down right away. But because I'm doing this one with the spider here and I have these legs, I'm going to pause and kind of do it a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my glue along the one side. And so you want to make the front side, the side that does not have this fold here, that's like 1/4 of the way down. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the legs, and of course it's going to stick to my table. And I'm just going to kind of place it where I think it will be, even at my angle. So I'm just going to go kind of like all the way up. So I added my glue there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more glue right on top where I just added those legs. Add a little bit more. And then I'm gonna glue it down right here. So now if you're making one that's not the spider, you won't have this extra step. And that's the reason why I decided I would do the spider one with you, because there's this extra step here and you kind of want to have it at the front. So you can already see it right there. I'm going to go ahead and just flip it to the other side so I can do this part first. And then we'll move over to the other side as well. And so again, I'm just pressing it down. Now, because of this crease here too, you want to make sure that you get everything flat. So if you need to, flip it over and then use your hand on the inside just to make sure that it's really sealing there. All right, so you can see it there. You see my legs here towards the front. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the other side as well, but I'm gonna start with the back first. So all I'm left with is the front. So again, all I'm gonna do is add my glue to the back side here, then seal it together. And then just kind of make sure that you're taking your time to make sure everything is lining up right at the edge, that you're creating that flush 90 degrees. And so that it's not kind of pushing in a little. And what I'm going to do again, I'm going to get my legs now in the order. So I'm going to have them go this way. And then I'm going to tilt it just a little bit and add my glue. And now the tricky part is there's nowhere to really kind of line it up. So we're going to eyeball it. Okay. So again, so I'm going to take this one and just kind of eyeball it like right there, pressing it down. And grab this one. And again, kind of doing that one right there, the second one. And then again, also for the third one. And then again, I'm going to add my glue right on top. And then I'm going to press it down. Okay. And so there you go. And if you want, you might be able to kind of move it around just a little bit if you need to. Well, that one's not going to budge. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. And so before you go ahead and decide to fold everything together, we really want to give the glue a chance to dry here. So I'm going to let it sit for just a second while I do the face. All right, so I'm going to add my eyes. And you know what? You can be as creative as you want with this. You know, you could go up at the top if you wanted. You could tilt it, like have fun with it. Lots of options, lots of possibilities. I probably should have done the mouth first, but that's all right. And then I'm just going to put this one down here, kind of at the bottom. And you know, if you want to create more faces, go right ahead. Like this is a craft where you could really have fun making all kinds of crazy looking faces with eyes, and you know, you throw in a nose too, like, and the mouth could be really kind of just, you know, get silly with it. All right. So here's my little spider bag. It's kind of different, kind of fun. Okay. And so now for the handles. So, in the file, I gave you a long rectangle. So I gave you a long rectangle, and then I also gave you these two handles. Now, the handles are going to be kind of, this is how they would end up at the end. And I'm going to go ahead and stick with the handles because when I go to lay it flat, my handles are going to lay flat as well. But I know that not everybody's going to want their handles to be like that. And so if you want to kind of have yours going more like this, and so you have that effect with your handle, that will work too. And that's why I put this long rectangle in there for you. And so all you would want to do is take your glue stick. I have to grab one here. So you would take your glue stick and just kind of roll the paper to kind of create that bend. and then add some glue, place it on the inside right here, and then place it there, and then you would be good to go. But if you're using the rectangle like this, you're not going to be able to lay it flat. But I know that some of you, that won't be your objective. I want to keep mine where I can stack mine all, and so I can make them all at the same time before I have to fill them. And so I'm going to stick with the other handlebars. But I just wanted to show you guys that this is what it would look like if you wanted to go with that kind of handle. All right, so I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to use these. Now, you can see the little square that's kind of there. This is where I'm going to match mine up with the top of my bag. So I added some glue, way more than I needed. And I'm just going to kind of line it up right there with the top of my bag. And if you wanted to, like, you could just put it down lower if you want. I just felt that this was like a good gauge for me. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this will kind of let me know that my handles were kind of put on at the same height. All right, so same thing here. Just going to flip it so you guys can see it more than me. And there we go. All right. And so that's it. This really finishes it. And then all you have to do is, because everything has been folded and we've taken the time, just kind of come in on the sides and then push it together. You see here in the back, that's where it will fold. And then you just press it down. And so you'll have your bag and it will fold. And then you can just flatten it out, and then you can stack them up, one right on top of the other, until you're ready to use it. Okay, so it's kind of cute, it's kind of fun, and it's super easy. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and happy crafting.